Shout out to my mama. She hates this shirt. I love you, mama. Uh-oh. I didn't even have to chew. So we're gonna start this video off just a little bit differently by preparing my pan first. I'm trying a new baking spray. We're gonna see how it works, but I have pan baking spray made with flour, and y'all, it says a perfect release. We'll see about that. And I'm just gonna show you the very simple process of what I'm gonna put in the bottom of my bundt pan here. So of course we're making an apple cobbler pound cake, and if you're anything like me, the best part of a cobbler is the flaky buttery crust. So I'm gonna try and recreate that just a little bit with some graham crackers, a little brown sugar, and I have some Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinnadust. And so I'm gonna put the graham crackers, maybe 2 or 3 sleeves of it. I'm gonna just pound it in the bag with some brown sugar. Then I'm gonna put that on the bottom of the bundt pan, sprinkle some Cinnadust. And then on top of that, I have my apple pie topping or filling. So I'm not cooking apples from scratch. You don't have to. And I've used this apple pie filling or topping before. It's really good. If you haven't seen my apple dump cake video, go check that out. I definitely use the apple pie filling in that recipe. It's already sweet, so I don't have to do anything with that. So on the bottom of the pan, of course, I'm gonna spray it with the Pam. Then I'm going to have the graham crackers with the brown sugar, the Cinnadust, and then the apples on top. And then we're going to pour the batter on top of that. And in my mind, hopefully this can all meld and come together to create all of these different layers and textures of yumminess. Okay, so I have 1/4 cup of light brown sugar that I'm just going to put in there. And let's see, let's do 2 sleeves here. Put that in there like so. And I'm just literally going to, actually, let's take this knife. I do have a food processor. I'm gonna be completely honest, I did not feel like busting out the food processor and creating extra dishes to wash. So we're just gonna do it in this handy dandy sandwich bag. And it's something simple. Oh, you know what? I did not sprinkle my Cinnadust. And if you've never seen the Cinnadust, it has, it's a seasoning blend, and it has sugar, cinnamon, calcium, and all of the things. If you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the Cinnadust tastes just like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I'm just gonna put some of that in there. You know, a little Cinnadust never hurt anybody. And we're just gonna continue to pound, pound, pound. And just like that, we have a nice coating for the bottom of our bundt pan. And if you want this super fine, then of course, Lord, I got a hole in my bag. Is that a hole? Well, we'll have to be careful with that. If you want it super fine, then of course you could use your food processor and it would blend all of these things seamlessly. Like I said, I just didn't feel like doing that. So I'm gonna put this off to the side very carefully because I have a hole in my bag. I guess I didn't know my own strength. And then let's finish preparing our pan here. Okay, so got my pan. Wow, it smells different. I've used Baker's Joy before. I have used Food Lion baking spray, Great Value baking spray. This actually smells like cake. Wow, this smells like cake. That's pretty cool. Okay. Put that off to the side. So I have thoroughly sprayed my pan. I'm now going to take my mixture here and I'm gonna sprinkle that on the bottom of the pan. Something super simple. I have these creations and these things I want to try, and it's like, okay, let's experiment a little bit. Okay. So we have that in the bottom of the pan, and then on top of that, I'm gonna put the apple. And I only used 2 sleeves. I didn't need too much. And like I said, I have my apple pie filling. I have thoroughly washed the can. Please make sure before you use any canned good, you wash the can, because you know they've been on trucks and on shelves and people have touched them and rodents and critters have crawled across them. So you want to make sure that you thoroughly wash those cans. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, oh, that smells good. I can smell the cinnamon that they put in the apples. Just gonna spoon this on top here. Y'all know I don't mind experimenting with things. I wanna make sure that we have a nice distribution of apples. Side note, do you say distribute or distribute? Do you say advertisement or advertisement? I'm a distribute girl and an advertisement girl, but I know lots of people who say distribute. My mother says advertisement. I'm curious, what do y'all say? These are the kind of things that go through my mind. Okay. So just like that, that's what the bottom of our pan looks like. I'm gonna move my apples over here so that it's evenly coated, because I see I have more apples on this side. So I'm gonna switch some apples to this side so that we have an even distribution, like I said. And now that we've prepared the pan, we can get to making the cake. I have 1 block of Philadelphia cream cheese. That's 8 ounces of that. It's gonna go into the mixing bowl. And the cream cheese along with the butter and the eggs are all room temperature. I have 3 sticks of salted butter. You can certainly use unsalted if you'd like. So 1 stick, 2 sticks, and 3 sticks. I have something called cream bouquet that I'm going to put in the cake. Make sure you shake it up before you use it. And I'm just gonna do about a teaspoon pure vanilla extract. I'm not measuring anything out. Honestly, I'm heavy on extracts. I like to be able to taste it. But if you're doing capfuls, let's say about 3 capfuls or about 3 teaspoons of vanilla. I have butter extract. One teaspoon of butter extract or capful. And then I have almond, pure almond extract. And a teaspoon of the almond extract, okay? So I'm going to allow the cream, cheese, and the butter to mix together just for a few seconds, and then I have 3 cups of sugar that we'll add in slowly until it is light and fluffy. I'm not gonna show you the whole process from beginning to end, but know that I will stop along the way, scrape down the side of my bowl to make sure that I'm not leaving any residue or any butter or anything on the side of the mixing bowl. And I'll probably do that about 2 or 3 times within the process, and then I will show you what light and fluffy looks like at the end. I have my Cuisinart stand mixer fitted with my whisk attachment. And I'm gonna mix this. Mine goes up to a 12 speed. I'll mix this before adding the sugar on about a 6. That mixed for about 30 seconds. And I have my 3 cups of sugar. So I'll add a little bit in. And now I'm gonna put it on speed 12. All right, y'all. We have achieved light and fluffy. So this is what you want your batter to look like at this point in time. You want it light, you want it airy, you want it fluffy. I have those nice peaks. And you do not want to hear any of the sugar, okay? And so I have come to realize that you get to this process a lot faster using cream cheese. This maybe took me about 4 minutes, but when I don't use the cream cheese, it takes me all of 10 or 12 minutes. But you'll know when you have achieved light and fluffy when it looks like this and when you can no longer hear the sugar. Okay, so now we're going to add our eggs in one at a time. All right, I have cracked 5 large eggs and they are room temperature, and we're gonna add these in one at a time. And I'm gonna show you real time just how quickly this process goes. You only wanna mix the eggs until the yolk disappears, because at this point moving forward, you do not want to overmix your batter. So I'm gonna show you this real time. So we're gonna do 1 egg. And I'm gonna mix this on a medium speed. Like I said, my mixer goes up to a 12. So I'll mix this at maybe a 4. Okay, the first egg is mixed. Second egg is mixed. Third egg is mixed. That was our 4th. And there's our 5th egg. And I'm gonna stop the mixer there. Altogether, that maybe took a minute. I'm gonna scrape down the side of my bowl. As you can see, the batter has become more runny, of course, because we have eggs in the batter, but it will thicken up once we add the flour. Now for the last step in the process, I have 3 cups of Swans Down baking flour. This comes pre-sifted, but you can sift again if you'd like to. I did take my fork and stir around in there a little bit more. I added half a teaspoon of salt to this and a full teaspoon of baking powder. So that's what's mixed in here. And we're going to add about a cup of flour at a time. And I have preheated my oven to 315 degrees. Actually, I preheated it to 350 and I got to knock the temperature back down because I bake my cakes long and slow, but I digress. So we're gonna start off with our first cup of flour, salt and baking soda mixture, and we're gonna mix this at a low speed. We don't want the flour to fly around everywhere, and we certainly don't want to overmix the batter. So on I'll do this at maybe like a 2. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Showing you this real time. I'm going to scrape the side of my bowl because I also want you to see how quickly this process moves along as well. I'm gonna add in my 2nd cup of flour. Mix at a low speed. I bumped it up to a 3. I'm gonna stop. I'm going to scrape the side of my bowl. And then my last bit of flour. Mix on a low speed. And I am done. The rest I will mix by hand, and I'll let you all watch me do that. Okay, so I have the rest of my batter here, and I'm just going to simply mix the rest of this by hand. And you can see it is thickened up quite considerably, and that's because we added the flour in. But this gives you more control of the batter, just to ensure that you don't overmix. I'm gonna get the bottom of the pan here to make sure that nothing's left on the bottom. I tasted the whisk. Oh gosh. Sometimes just a simple like vanilla butter almond cake, that flavor is top tier. Sometimes you just don't need all the extras. And I want the apples and everything that I put in the bundt pan to be the star. Okay, so this is what our batter is looking like now. Thick, rich, and I'm excited to taste the cake. So we're not gonna pour this into our prepared bundt pan. And I really hope this comes out as good in real life as I see it being in my head. And this batter is really thick. You're gonna have to scoop it out because it's really not a pourable consistency. And I actually like the consistency better of my cakes and the texture with the cream cheese. I just prefer to bake with cream cheese. So most of my cakes, 99% of my cakes are baked with cream cheese because I just like the consistency better. Get back over here, cake. Editing Ashley is gonna speed this process up. Okay, I have my knife here just to get the excess off the spatula. No batter left behind. And I love these spatulas. They get the bowl so clean. Okay. I'm gonna eat the rest of this. All right, so I'm just gonna gently just shake my pan here, because remember I have apples and graham crackers and stuff on the bottom, so I'm not gonna do too well. I guess the apples and the graham crackers, they're not gonna move, so I just want to get the air bubbles out. I want to make sure that this is as even as possible on the top, so I'm gonna smooth it out here. Yeah. And now our cake, isn't that pretty? Y'all, it smells so good already. Our cake is ready to go into the oven, at which I'll bake at 315 degrees for an hour and a half. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's finished. Now we're gonna let her cool. Okay, y'all, so my cake has been cooling for about 30 minutes, and to be perfectly honest, it is still very warm. Yeah, it's still very warm, but we're gonna go ahead and flip it out. Let me get my oven mitts. And we know the sound that we want to hear. We just want to hear a whoosh. We know that's a clean slide. That's a clean bake. Uh-oh. Don't hear it, guys. Oh, it was a clean bake. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, not too bad. I got a few apples left in the pan, so we can fix that. That's an easy fix. Not too bad. Okay, let's fix it. Probably should have let it cool a little bit more, but I believe that apple went there. Yeah. And that apple looks like it might have gone there. And we'll put that apple there. And we'll put that apple there. Okay. You know what? I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Okay, y'all. Okay. So we're gonna let it cool just a little while longer. But y'all look at how the apple's baked in. I think this is going to be delicious, delicious, delicious. I'm gonna let it cool just a little while longer because I do want to hit it with a vanilla glaze. And if I glaze it now, it's gonna all melt into the cake. So we're gonna let it cool. I'm gonna cover it with my umbrella, my little tent here. I'm gonna wash this bundt pan and we'll let it cool for a little while longer. The sun is going down. I'm trying to finish filming before it gets too dark, but we gotta let this cool. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, so while the cake is cooling, we're going to make our glaze, something super simple. You don't need a mixer to do it. You can simply mix it by hand. I have 2 cups of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. I'm gonna add just a little bit of the cream bouquet, a little bit of the pure vanilla extract, a little bit of the almond extract, and a little bit of the butter extract. And instead of using regular milk or heavy cream, I am going to use my Coffee Mate French, can you see it? Focus. My Coffee Mate French vanilla creamer. I just think that'll be yummy. Okay, so let's make this glaze so that we can get it on the cake. Okay, so I'm just going to do about a teaspoon of the cream bouquet, which is really a capful. I'm going to do a capful of, well, that was more than a capful, so that was probably like a teaspoon and a half. Almond extract. Now this capful is a little bit bigger than a teaspoon, but you know, you add your extracts to your own flavoring. I love vanilla, y'all know I'll add vanilla to everything, so. And I think I'm gonna stop at 1 teaspoon there. And then I have my French vanilla coffee creamer. And remember, when you're doing a glaze, you just want to add your liquids in very slowly because you can add it in, but you can't take it out. Okay, so let's see what this does. Nope. There we go. There we go. And if I had to guess, I'd probably say that this is, I poured in, about 1/8 of a cup of coffee creamer. Off the top of my head right now, I don't know what that equates to in tablespoons, but, and you see how fast that came together? Like, it does not take a lot of work to create a glaze. And of course, if you want a thinner glaze, you add more liquid. If you want a thicker glaze, you have less liquid, or you just add more powdered sugar. But I'm done. And what did that take? 30 seconds? Y'all saw this in real time. The glaze is finished. And let's go ahead and get it drizzled on the cake. Ooh, I think this is going to be amazing. Okay. Here we go. And let's start over here. And you notice when you have a glaze, the imperfections, and even if you have imperfections in the cake, it's okay, just as long as it tastes good. But if you're worried about, oh my gosh, my cake doesn't look good, I have imperfections, you know, a glaze will cover all of that up, and I'm gonna put the rest of that in the center. I made a little bit of mess on the side there, but this is what I call my apple cobbler pound cake. My apple cobbler pound cake. And it's still very much warm, and you can see how the glaze is melting in, because it's not completely cooled. And that's what I was talking about. You see it melting in. Had I let it get completely cooled, it would have been a little more tacky, but that's okay. It's cool enough. We're gonna cut into this warm cake before the sun goes down, and we're gonna see what is hitting on. Shout out to my mama. She hates this shirt. I love you, mama. Look at that. You know me, I got to get a little piece of thumbnail real quick. Okay, I want to give a special shout out to all the utensil snobs that like real plates and things. You all are going to be happy today. No styrofoam and no plastic. I'm using real dishes. Aren't y'all proud of me? Okay, so where shall we cut? Let's cut here on the flat side. That's so moist, like, wow. It's like cutting through a cloud. Get some of that cream. Y'all, I'm making a mess. Get some of that cream, scoop some of that up right there. Yay. And I just want to show y'all what the inside of the cake looks like now that it's cut. You can see the texture there. You can see the extra cream in the middle. Y'all, this cake smells absolutely amazing. And I just want to show y'all what the inside of the cake looks like now that it's cut. You can see the texture there. You can see the extra cream in the middle. Y'all, this cake smells absolutely amazing. And this is what my slice looks like. Check out this side, the underside right there, that nice crust. This is going to be a moist, delicious piece of cake. I added some extra glaze on top. Okay, let's see how my experiment turned out. Lord, please bless this cake that I'm about to receive for the nourishment of my body. Lord Jesus, I pray, amen. Okay. Let's just start off with the actual, well, I know what the cake tastes like because I bake cakes. The cake, I want to taste the apples. Okay. Y'all, it's still warm. Y'all see how it's falling apart? It's so moist. Wow. I didn't even have to chew. Whoa. So this cake is melting, literally melting in my mouth. The apples with the brown sugar are really good. This cake is so doggone moist.
I'm moist. I'm moist. Call and response, I said I'm moist. I'm moist.
Whoa. And it's still warm. This is delicious. So I'm gonna finish the rest of that off camera. The cake is extremely rich. It's extremely moist, like the lightness, the airiness. I can really tell that I whipped that butter and sugar to perfection. The light crustiness that's on the bottom of the cake, I'm looking at it because, you know, while I'm talking about it, I'm looking at it. Let's just pick it up while I talk about it. This is a delicious, decadent cake. And I would say it's a definite must try. Now, to be perfectly honest, does it give me apple cobbler vibes? Maybe a little bit. I wish that I got a little more of the crunch on top from the graham crackers. Maybe I should have added more. I don't know, but what I will say is that the apples are really good. There is a nice crust on the bottom of the cake. The cake is delicious. It's absolutely delicious. And probably once it cools off, I will get more of that additional texture that I'm looking for. But if you want to try something different, if you love apples, and you could really do this with any kind of fruit, I say go for it. This will be delicious with strawberries. I mean, you could just play around with all kinds of things, but this cake is delicious, and the glaze with the French vanilla creamer is so, so good. And you know, the last cake that I baked, that pineapple pound cake, that I literally only ate one slice of that pound cake. So I'll eat this slice, I'll finish this slice of cake, and then once I have satiated that craving, or you know, I'm like, okay, I want to try this, and I've gotten it out of my system, I won't want any more of this cake. So there's somebody that I owe a slice of cake to who has been asking me about cake. Girl, I got you. My parents, they get most of the cake. Once I finish it off, they end up getting most of the cake. So we have come to the end of another video. You guys, you all have been running up my numbers so well here on YouTube. The last time I checked, I'm sitting at 860 subscribers, and you know, I'm really trying to hit 1,000. My goal was to hit 1,000 by the end of 2023. That didn't happen, but that's okay. I see that we are still moving in the right direction. So if you have not taken the time to subscribe, please take the time to do so. Comment down below, like the video. It really helps to push me through the algorithm. Thank you to those of you who continue to watch over and over again. I know Chef Squeeze is one person who watches a lot. Yes, I think it's Ledra Turner, it's Aesthetic Treats. That's what it is. So Ledra Turner, Aesthetic Treats, Chef Squeeze, all of my family and friends that always tune in and comment down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it when you comment, when you like, when you share. It definitely helps to push me through the algorithm, like I said. So I am very, very appreciative. If this is like your third, fourth, fifth, or more video that you've come back for and you have not hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting on? We are in a committed relationship. Just go ahead and hit subscribe and commit to the channel and become a part of our family over here, okay? So thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your time here with me today. Again, my name is Ashley Richardson, and that is Miss Richardson to you if you are a student watching. And I do have students that watch, and so people ask me why I say that. I'm an educator of 19 years, and so I do have students that watch me. So if you are a student watching, that is Miss Richardson to you, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video soon. Bye.